Joining us now on Newsnight to discuss the bickering of PDP factions over planned convention to affirm former President Goodluck Jonathan as presidential candidate of the party. I have in Ememobong himself, factional PDP Publicity Secretary. Good to have you on Newsnight.
Good evening. Glad to be here.
Should we still refer to you all as factional? Which PDP really are we dealing with here? But let's talk about this bickering over use of venue. First, let's get your reaction to this development where Wike says he has actually threatened to revoke Abuja land titles over illegal use of properties.
Well, I mean, except we don't live in a country where the rule of law exists. If we live, people have been referring to the president as an emperor, a title he's been struggling to say that, no, I'm a Democrat. And so the critical foundation of this country is on the rule of law. And the rule of law means that powers are limited. There's nothing in the entire laws that establish the FCT that gives the minister. That even gives the president unfettered powers to deal with fundamental rights, rights to own property, right to freedom of assembly, which is there. So, meaning, assuming they're not considering that we weren't even PDP, that 60 people of different parties, or even of the PDP, said we wanted to meet, they have a right to meet. Even political associations that are not registered have a right to meet. And so, you see, it is hypocrisy in its purest form, in its undiluted form, and it is Wike is suffering from paranoia. He's paranoid, I must say, because
in what way?
Clearly, he's afraid of his shadows. He's afraid of an opposition that will, because he clearly knows where Nigerians stand on this. So, and I think that the real PDP, the name Jonathan, the fact that you have people who are ready to send the APC government, which he's serving home, actually gives him a lot of sleepless nights. So let me ask a simple question. Remember that Dumebi Kachuku. So let's look at the scenarios completely and see whether what he's saying is generic or is specific. So you remember that Dumebi Kachuku used the same place. The name of his people were not on INEC platform,
ADC.
and he said nothing about it, maybe because that may suit his purpose. Also remember that the SDP convention that held not the people who held that convention, their names were not on the portal, but they held the convention, and he had no qualms about it. But he has qualms about people, real people who are the real PDP. So assuming they're not considering, if you have everything, you have the president backing you, you have institutions of state backing, why are you afraid? The same person who said, PDP does not have the capacity to present the candidate, eventually now resurrected and present. See, this is the distinction between contenders and pretenders. Pretenders would evaporate when contenders show up. And so clearly they know that they're a band of pretenders. And tomorrow we will hold the event there. The FCT minister has no powers to disperse any lawful event. The PDP is a registered party, and the people who are meeting their PDP members, assuming we're not considering that they were not even leadership issues, we still have the capacity, as members of PDP to say, we want to meet, we want to discuss, we want to do this, and that is within our rights. And when you go back, so going back to the issues of faction, when you go back to the Supreme Court judgment, and you go back to the fact that NEC actually now met, and NEC now appointed an interim national working committee. So you're going to know who is standing on truth. And this matters. Let me tell you, they have petitioned to the Inspector General of Police, they petitioned to the DSS, they petitioned to the Commissioner of Police, Abuja, that people are impersonating. So why not wait for it? There are matters in courts on these issues. Right. So why do you want to take laws into your hands?
But you actually put yourself in the same boat as the Dumebi Kachukus of this world.
No, I'm showing you.
Because
if this was a blanket
his faction
thing,
is not recognized by INEC, and if we're to go by that, the question of legality, and really, I mean, you've stated it clearly. Any Nigerian has a right to gather anywhere they choose to gather. And now that he has made this threat, I mean, beyond reacting the way you've done, are there any further actions that you plan to take?
Well, for us, we've informed, we had written to INEC, which INEC had received the letter, and we have evidence of that. We'd written to all the security agencies, and they have evidence of that. And tomorrow we'll gather there. You see, if Wike wants to water this democracy with the blood of human beings, then so be it.
We hope it.
But my warning is that now security agents are sitting and watching. The president is sitting and watching. This is how republics collapse. And therefore, tomorrow, responsible citizens of Nigeria, the Jerry Ghanaians, former governors, former ministers, will be there.
We'll all be
if
there.
Wike wants to kill everyone, let him come there. We'll be there. This country doesn't belong to one human being. And we are calling on the president. We need to understand whether it is Wike leading the country or the president leading the country. We are going for elections.
Well, the last time I checked was Tinubu leading the country.
No, but that's so. I mean, you remember that. You remember that a president did not even in Abuja did not issue a lockdown, but the FCT minister did. He's not the first minister of the FCT.
Very quickly on the reason why you're gathering this affirmation of the person of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. I'm not aware that President Goodluck Jonathan has come out to say that he's going to run. I do understand, of course, there was this group of Nigerians who visited him at his office, urging him to run. And he told them, look, if I asked all of you here, if you even had your PVCs, I'm sure you don't, go and get your PVCs. That was basically his reaction. And said, look, be patriotic. It's patriotic people that will build the country. And I mean, running for president is not a video game. There was something he called it, He has not said he wants to run. So why exactly are you, carrying out this affirmation exercise that you plan? Is that something that we don't know?
No, of course, since you're not a member of the party, I think you know that.
Okay, so
that you would
and that's why we're here to
clearly,
find out.
Clearly, you know that there are people whom leadership is an aspiration, and they will do everything, including killing people, suppressing people's right, like you're saying now, to hold on to it. There are people whom service is a calling. And when it is a calling, it is the people who call on you. And so that is why you could see a President Jonathan, even when he was in power. He said, my ambition, this service that I'm doing is not worth the blood of anyone. He was not willing to hold on to power at all costs.
Right.
And therefore, people are calling on him. And within the framework of the political party, there are processes of form purchase. I remember that something happened and I issued a statement. I said, I know for certain that Goodluck Jonathan is a member of a party. He did the online registration, and he hasn't denied it.
He's a card-carrying member of the PDP. He's a card-carrying
member of the PDP. And so within the framework of the internal affairs of the party, which the party is entitled to, any one of us can be asked to run. And in this circumstance, he's been asked to run. So it's for you to wait whether he's going to deny
and if he says
he's not
a
running.
Very polite no.
No, so allow that to him.
Right.
There are political mechanics, which is why the people on the other end are very unsettled about it. You see, in my place, there's an adage that says that the owner of a thing drags it with a finger, while the other people run around with all 10 hands, all 10 fingers. So the owner simply approaches it.
I wish you had said it in Africa.
Only both of us would know, but the rest of the people wouldn't. So clearly, that is the process. And there is nothing wrong about that process. You remember that during the screening, the screening was waived for him because, he's done that screening as governor, as deputy governor, as vice president, and eventually as president.
Right.
And so for Goodluck Jonathan, this is a calling. This is not an ambition. And it's not about, he's been president before, so there's nothing new in Asoro. But this is a period that this country needs healing.
What exactly are you banking on?
This next 4 years.
Yes.
This next 4 years. People must understand why.
Right.
It is not about a Goodluck Jonathan, but it is about the next 4 years. The next 4 years is a transitional period for Nigeria. It's a period of national healing. It's a period that you must bring a president who is willing to be neutral, who is willing to hear all of the country, who has the capacity to fix the economy, but who also has the calm-headedness to ensure that the political temperature of the country does not rise as it is rising now.
I'm glad you used the word willing, because a lot of Nigerians are asking. There seems to be some kind of reluctance on his part.
It's not different from who he has been. If you read the book by President Obasanjo, and you read all accounts, you see that even becoming governor, from being deputy governor, was foisted on him. Even becoming vice president, remember that President Obasanjo made him an offer and he said no. How many Nigerians are like that? That is the person you need now. You don't need a person who is hungry for power. You need a person who will see power. See, every time you see power, in fact, as electricity, it has to have a cable around it, because power is so, if allowed to leak in that manner, can cause damage.
Right.
So you need a person who has the capacity to remain calm in the midst of power, not a person who will use every bit of power, in fact, and look for other powers.
Let me get your reaction very quickly. The FCT minister, let's go back to him again. Wike has said that GEJ, former President Goodluck Jonathan, should reject this affirmation.
He's not in a position to say so. He doesn't even have a standing to comment where President Jonathan is spoken about. I mean, when you analyze the dramatist person and their character build-up, he can't even make a comment on the person and character of Goodluck and whether Goodluck should say anything or not. So it doesn't lie in his mouth to say so. So if he is power-grabbing, if he is power-hungry, and if he wants all the power in the world, that's his business. And that is why he's always grappling for power, and that is why power keeps eluding him. But if another person stays at home, and people are saying he stayed at home and he was made deputy governor, and while a Wike would not have behaved like a Jonathan if he was deputy governor, he would have sent his boss packing since. But you saw the calmness of a Jonathan, and the committee report said this man did not hinder our work, did not also encourage us. He just stayed there, and he became governor, and he was satisfied with being governor. And President Obasanjo said, who can be best to be vice president to a Yar'Adua? And they brought it, because everyone needs a vice president that they can sleep well, not which is why some people never became vice president. And today, I'm sure that the party is happier that they never became vice president. So this country needs a person in the mold and character of a Jonathan, who will not foist a successor, who will not allow the temperature of the country, the political temperature, to get to breaking point. That's what we need.
According to Wike, and I don't want to make this about Wike really, I mean, he says, look, the same people who rejected Goodluck Jonathan in the first time are the ones who are now saying, Hosanna, you know, in the name of the Lord, come.
Now, the difference is a lot of the people you're talking about don't read. They just hold degrees. And when they speak, they think they speak to puppets. The same people who rejected Buhari, how many times elected Buhari? Okay. The same people who rejected John Mahama in Ghana re-elected him. And so the issue is not about how many times you get rejected. And if you go back to 2015 and we are honest with ourselves, and with the confessions going around now, you know that Goodluck did what he did to save Nigeria. Not that he did not have both legal and sentimental reasons to hold on. A candidate that did not recognize the sitting president, that was enough to cancel and postpone the election. But he would not do it because he would prefer Nigeria over his ambition. Absolutely,
and that's what every politician should do. Thank you so much. Ememobong is the factional PDP National Publicity Secretary, joining us tonight on the planned affirmation of former President Goodluck Jonathan as presidential candidate of their party.